Just over 2 weeks after a devastating flood struck Ruidoso, New Mexico, the community is facing another significant flood event. On July 24th, the Rio Ruidoso rose to nearly 12.5 feet within approximately 4 hours, flooding neighborhoods, damaging homes, and submerging roads. During the flood, video footage captured a cabin being torn from its foundation and carried downstream by the swift current, a stark illustration of the force of floodwater bearing down on the village. In response, emergency crews conducted multiple water rescues and continued to assist residents affected by the rising waters. While recovery efforts from the previous flood are still underway, the village must now confront the impact of this new event. Across the village of Ruidoso and surrounding areas, the impact was widespread and severe. Paradise Canyon saw entire stretches of creek banks collapse under the rushing current, carrying debris, mud, and parts of buildings downstream. In the neighboring community of Ruidoso Downs and the smaller area of Hollywood, residents found themselves suddenly cut off by rising water. First responders confirmed at least 5 swift water rescues during the first hours of the storm, a testament to how quickly conditions turned life-threatening. Emergency dispatchers fielded dozens of calls from stranded motorists and residents trapped in low-lying homes, coordinating rescues in treacherous, debris-choked currents.
And this is the other side of the road, so I am stuck.
Power infrastructure also suffered significant disruption. According to local utility reports, about 330 homes and businesses experienced outages when floodwaters damaged transformers and lines along Davis Drive, Spruce Drive, Yellow Pine Road, and later East and West Redwood Drive, Juniper Road, and parts of Brady Canyon. Though crews managed to restore service to many within hours, some areas faced longer delays as utility workers navigated blocked roads and unstable ground. Recognizing the urgency, local authorities quickly opened emergency shelters at the Ruidoso Community Center and Eastern New Mexico University's local campus, providing temporary refuge for displaced residents. By early evening, at least 14 people had sought shelter, while more were expected as night fell. Sandbag distribution sites were established at key intersections, allowing residents to shore up homes and businesses against further flooding. Heavy equipment was deployed to clear blocked drainage channels and remove large debris from roadways to restore critical routes and reduce the threat of additional flooding from subsequent rainfall. The July 8th flood remains fresh in local memory, not only because of its unprecedented scale, but because recovery was still ongoing when the new disaster struck. On that day, fueled by an intense monsoonal thunderstorm, the Rio Ruidoso surged from a calm stream to more than 20 feet in less than half an hour, destroying or severely damaging at least 35 homes. Tragically, 3 lives were lost, including 2 young children, and emergency crews carried out over 85 water rescues in a frantic effort to save those trapped by the sudden deluge. Debris still lined many creek beds and roads from that earlier disaster, and repair work on damaged infrastructure and homes had only just begun. The July 24th flood, though slightly less intense, has deepened the hardship for a community already exhausted by trauma and the struggle to rebuild. Meteorologists and hydrologists have been direct in explaining why these floods have been so destructive. Each summer, the North American monsoon brings humid air masses northward from the Pacific and the Gulf, often producing brief but intense thunderstorms over the southwest. Normally, this seasonal rain is vital, replenishing rivers and aquifers in an arid region. But its impact changes drastically when falling over terrain left vulnerable by wildfires. The South Fork fire, which burned roughly 17,500 acres near Ruidoso last year, created a widespread burn scar. Experts explain that the heat of the fire altered the soil's properties, forming a hydrophobic layer that prevents water absorption. Instead of soaking into the ground, rainwater rushes downhill almost immediately, filling gullies and streams at dangerous speed and forming debris flows that carry mud, ash, and even entire structures. Rainfall intensity compounded the danger. Meteorological data confirmed rainfall rates topping 2 inches per hour during the July 24th event, more than enough to overwhelm any drainage system. With hydrophobic soils, water accumulates in minutes, transforming small creeks into torrents. According to hydrologists, even storms producing lower rainfall rates can trigger floods until the ground recovers.
Our poor town.
My quiet little creek. It's barely a trickle behind my house. Almost to my gate.
Looking ahead, the National Weather Service and local emergency planners warn that the risk is far from over. The monsoon season typically continues into September, and with soils already saturated and burn scars still exposed, even moderate storms could produce new flooding. Residents have been urged to monitor weather alerts closely, avoid low-water crossings, and heed evacuation orders without hesitation. Local agencies are reinforcing debris catchers, clearing sediment from culverts and drainage channels, and coordinating with state and federal partners to secure additional resources should further flooding occur. Beyond official efforts, the resilience of Ruidoso's residents and emergency crews has been clear. First responders, supported by volunteer fire departments and neighboring counties, conducted swift rescues and reopened blocked roads, often while conditions remained hazardous. Utility workers restored power, sometimes working overnight amid unstable ground. Local businesses donated supplies, and residents offered shelter to neighbors forced to evacuate. As waters recede, the true scale of damage will become clearer. For many, the coming weeks will bring hard decisions about repairs, rebuilding, or relocation. But as seen through volunteer efforts and determined recovery work, the community's response has been defined not just by necessity but by solidarity. While the storms may have tested the limits of what this mountain town can endure, they have also shown that even repeated disasters cannot easily shake the resolve of those determined to protect their home and each other. As always, thank you for watching. Stay safe and stay aware.